We have to keep winning, and I hate to, I don't know if we ever said win around, but I think that was the perception, and everybody, knows that it's something we wanted to do. But I think we're trying to build a culture here of winning, and finding winning ways, winning habits, and let that be part of our culture, and set the bar high, because we're trying to improve from within. I think, and it's a good place for us to be. We have 10 players, I think, on our team that are 25 years and younger. And so what do you ask of guys like this? And I think it's learn how to win and grow with winning. And that's what we're doing now. And I know where we got to last year. And I know that there are expectations, but what are expectations in sports? To me, expectations in sports is winning, but that's the mandate in sports. I don't care where your organization is, it's all about winning and competing. And that's what we are going to do. So I don't know where to put it in terms of where do you get to. I really don't like to do that. Before the beginning of the season, and I know our team is speaking to everybody. We're going to go out there and compete and be the best that we can possibly be. I think basketball IQ, rebounding. I think that's somebody that can play inside, somebody that can play the 4 and the 5 position. I think he can play both positions really well. But skilled player, and you want to add a thinking player, I think, and that's what he is. He's always been like that, and now he's expanded his game a little bit. You saw in Boston where I don't know if he played as much inside, but you saw him outside a lot. He could spread the floor. We always need players like that with the way Kyle, DeMar, our shooters play, and so. So a big-time rebounder, high-level rebounder, especially defensively. Offensively, he's up there, and somebody that I think brings a good basketball IQ to our basketball team.
How high do you expect him to be on the pecking order offensively for this team, knowing that Kyle and DeMar are the first 2 go-tos, but he has somewhat of that skill set of a guy who can throw the ball to and get you a bucket?
We have a few guys like that. We know Kyle and DeMar are the leaders. And I think JV came on, unfortunately, before he got his injury. But I think JV was really trending the right way before that happened, and he's back. Hopefully in full form, and we'll continue from where he left off, and I think Jared fits. We'll see. It takes training camp. I always say, we do these things on paper. I'm not one of those that is going to come here and say, hey, we have this team that's this or this team that can do that, But I feel strongly that a training camp would dictate, coach would dictate, the way our guys play would dictate, how guys that come in will fit. And then he's got the personality. He's already played a lot of pickup games with us, and you can see it where he fits with our team. So in terms of offensively, I think we'll have to wait and see how training camp goes.
Most of the rotation from last year is back, obviously, with the exception of Bismack. Things he brought, the rim protection, the rim running on offense. I know it's up to Dwayne, but where do you sort of see the replacements on the roster coming from?
Well, we wanted to always improve and build from within, and some of our younger players are going to have to step up. Obviously, the likes of Bebe. Jakob and Pascal, these guys are going to have to step up, and they're going to have a unique opportunity. As I said, we have young players on our team, and we have to grow that way because at some point you build your team a certain way, and sometimes these guys just have to step up their games, and they'll get the opportunity. But I know coach would dictate that. I'm sure he'll talk more about it when he comes on the podium here, and hopefully we get the right rotations and the right players fitting in and contributing.
You've always said that the players and the personnel will dictate their future here with their performance. With Kyle able to opt out at the end of the season, how big of a year will this be for him?
Big time, but I talked about it with him yesterday, and what a phenomenal! He's been phenomenal for us the last couple of years. He's been responsible, and I think Kyle has played his part as a professional, as a basketball player on and off the court. I think he's, I still go back to a couple of years ago when everybody said, oh, when he signs his contract, he's gonna be this, he's gonna be that, he's not gonna do this, he's not gonna do that. But we can all tell that the guys looked in the mirror and he faces the challenges that come to him. And so every year is a big year for him. You can tell how since he's turned that corner, like he's not taking any year off. And we even talked about the Washington series, like when he wasn't feeling so well and it went the other way a little bit, he bounced right back, So these things happen in sports, but the responsibility of being a player, to me, I don't see this year being different from last year or since Kyle turned the corner. I think he's going to be phenomenal, and both of them have been, I think, a remarkable year, all-stars. Led us to a good place with our basketball team with the Eastern Conference Finals, and then Olympians and winning the gold medal in the Olympics. It's been a remarkable year. And when we talk about it, like the next thing they always talk about is how do we get to a championship caliber team. And that's I'm not saying that we are, but I'm saying that. That's the right way to think, like that's the right mentality to have.
For a lot of players, 30 years old can be a scary number, and scary for a team to potentially invest in a player on that side of 30. But Kyle has seemed to get better with age every year, as you mentioned. How has he been able to do that?
He takes basketball serious, like this is his career, and you can tell his regimen, the way he works out. Everything is about basketball and is about winning, and it's what you want in your basketball player. But even for the leader of your team, is what you want. There's no two ways about it. The way Kyle goes, we go. And the way DeMar goes, we go. And I think it's important for us that he's always there, and he acknowledges, he knows it, and he's very responsible. And we appreciate that because sometimes. When things go the other way, I think we saw it. Again, I mentioned Washington. I mentioned the playoffs. Got hit, and stood right back up and came back up to compete. Never gave up. They came back at night to work, to shoot. To me, that says so much about being a competitor and an elite competitor too.
Last year was a very challenging year for DeMar Carroll. What are your expectations for him if he doesn't have a lot of the same hang-ups and issues? What have you heard from him about his health coming into this season and this camp?
He feels good. I think it's getting better. He's worked over the summer, and obviously we didn't have him for almost half the season last year, and this was. it was even more disappointing for Damari himself. He'll tell you, because the competitor, the type of player, the fighter that he is, and we're hoping gradually to bring him back to where he was a year ago, and he seems to have responded well during the summer, and hopefully we pay attention, like to some of the things that need to be done, whether it's resting or bringing him in slowly. I think Coach and Alex would talk about that and act on it. So we hope to get him back to the form he was a year ago.
You like a lot of consistency and continuity with the roster, and then yet the start of last year, you're playing for All-Star, you're moving into this facility, you're launching the 905. Do you feel a little more settled coming into this year, and is back to business a little easier that way?
Yeah, incredible year. It was go, 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 go. You name it, we did it. Like we got the D-League team. We opened a new practice facility. We hosted All-Star. We went to London. I mean, like you can keep naming it and naming it and naming it. I had to look at my wife and tell her, like I'll find a couple of days at some point, to pay attention to the family, because it's tough, even on our players, everybody. But it was a unique year, and we're proud of it. We're very, very proud of it. To achieve those things, to sit in this practice facility, to have a D-League team, to have hosted All-Star, to have the year that we had, even play longer than we ever have. To me, that's it's a blessing, for us, and we have to keep building on that. These things are, I think they should make an impact on us for years to come. I think Adam Silver, the commissioner, has done a great job in partnering up with the Players Association and addressing this. I think one of the things with the NBA I'm really proud of is we get ahead of these things, and but we all have the right to speak our minds, and we've discussed with our players. I know Coach has taken a good lead and talked to some of our players on some of these social matters and social issues, and the need for some social change. The dialogue is going to continue, I think, with our players. They're just coming back, and these are serious issues, and we are blessed in Canada. I think that people don't talk about it as much. I know when free agents don't come here, or taxes and all that stuff you guys would talk about, but nobody talks about what a great country this is and how peaceful it is, and maybe how we should be helping, like teach other countries to be peaceful. I think it's very, very important, and we are lucky to be here. We're also not. We have to pay attention, because we're part of America. We're part of that. We're part of the league. We're part of that country. There's 29 other teams, and the Americans on our team, and there is an issue. There are problems there. I don't know if kneeling down for an anthem is the answer. To me, if you are going to do that, then you better have a backbone, and you better go out to your community, and you better be doing something to affect social change before you come and do that. And I commend guys that have done it and have paid attention to it. And I think our players will continue to discuss it, and we'll go from there.
In your off-season interactions with Kyle and DeMar specifically, is there something that sort of illustrates how they've maybe embraced the experience of last year and the expectations that created, and moved towards that goal you talked about of creating that championship caliber team?
Those guys are like I really commend Demar, who is learning how to win. You know, like I learned how to win here. It's good to see him grow. You know, like that's why we're comfortable really giving him the contract we gave him, because you've seen the work ethic, you see the growth every year. I know some people say, oh, he plays this way, he plays that way. Well, we don't know what way is going to win a championship. You know, like we only know that we should give these guys the platform, and I should build a platform for these guys to perform. And I think Kyle and DeMar have really embraced that. They've embraced their teammates. They've embraced coaching. I think Coach Casey has put these guys in a great place. They're beginning to understand big-time winning, you know, like what it takes in this league and how you have to win every game, how you have to go with that mentality that you want to win. And last year, their focus was unbelievable. You could tell, you know, like even after a loss, how it hit them, you know. And it's the last 3 years, I think you see that coming, you know, like the seriousness of playing, even when they play pickup games. And that's so important. And I think speaking to them, even talking to them yesterday, you know, like their eyes light up, you know, like, and they know, hey, that's what we're going to do, and that's what we're going to try and achieve.
Does their example become even more crucial when you're talking about how many guys you have on the team who are under 25?
Is there what?
Is their example even more important with the number of guys you mentioned that are under 25?
No question. You know, like we have to grow from within. You know, like we have to improve from within. We have to build from within. You know, and I think that is great to see Jonas. It's great to see DeMar. It's great to see Terrence. It's great to see Norm, the younger guys coming up. You know, and becoming players that. You know what? They're drafted here. They're growing up here, and they are the fabric of the team, and we really appreciate that. And I think they do, and we're hoping that culture can continue to create even bigger winning sometime soon.
I know you were very focused on your own team. Is there any team, any move around the Eastern Conference that caught your attention particularly?
I think we have a super team in the Atlantic Division now, but I don't know. I think the East got better. The teams in our division got better. So many really good teams in the NBA that made different moves, you know, whether it's New York or Boston or Detroit or Orlando, even got one of our players, you know, former players, but the East got better. There's no, I always used to say this, people talk about the West and talk about the West. Well, the East is creeping up now, you know, like slowly, and we recognize that it's going to be harder. When you win a little bit, you become more of a target. But there's nobody. Cleveland is the best team in the NBA. I always say I don't care how we talk about it or how we do it. There's 29 losers last year, you know, or 20. I shouldn't say losers. 29 teams that didn't win. And every of them is coming right back at you and trying to win, and we're one of them.